My name is Mufti Menk. Before you rush into love, take a moment to breathe. Perhaps Allah is keeping you single to save your heart, strengthen your soul, and prepare you for something far greater than you ever imagined. Every delay is His divine protection. Your single season is your sanctuary to grow closer to Allah through salah, dhikr, and Qur'an, so that when love arrives, it lands in a heart already devoted. Rushing leads to regret, but patience brings peace. So instead of chasing someone, become the person worthy of what Allah has written. Keep making dua with hope, because your supplication can reshape your destiny. And above all, trust that Allah's timing is perfect. Your love story is already written, it's only a matter of when He unfolds it. If this touched your heart, hit like, subscribe, and join me on this beautiful journey of faith and trust in Allah's plan. Allah's delay is never His denial. It is always His divine protection, wrapped in silence and unseen mercy. Sometimes the very thing you're begging for, Allah withholds, not because He is ignoring you, nor because you are unworthy, but because His love is deeper than your desire. He sees the cracks you cannot see. He knows what would harm your peace before you ever stepped into it. When He keeps you single, it may feel like loneliness, like everyone else is being blessed while you are being forgotten. But behind this waiting is a shield so strong that even the angels are amazed by the way your Lord covers you. He is keeping your heart far away from those who would crush your spirit, from environments that would dim your light, from paths that look beautiful now, but would lead you to destruction later. What He removes is His mercy. What He delays is His wisdom. When you fall to your knees crying, Ya Allah, why not me? Heaven responds, not yet, because what is written for you is sacred, and you must be protected until you are ready to embrace it. In moments of waiting, Satan whispers that you have been rejected, abandoned, or forgotten. Do not believe that lie, for when Allah protects you, He does not always do it with loud miracles. He does it with closed doors, broken plans, and delay in your dua being answered. He does it with heartache that forces you to pray harder, detach from dunya, and cling to Him. Each tear that falls in sajda is washing away a future trial you never saw coming. We often ask Allah for love, for companionship, for marriage, thinking we only need someone to hold us, but Allah says, come to me first, and I will teach you what true love is. Because what you think is love in this world can sometimes be a test so fierce it breaks your faith. Allah keeps you single, so your heart learns to depend entirely on Him. Because it is better to be alone under His shade than to be in the arms of someone who would lead you away from Him. There are people you once begged for, who walked away without explanation. At the time you questioned Allah, you asked Him why He allowed that pain. But one day you saw how their character crumbled, how their lifestyle slipped deeper into sin, how their words became knives. You recognized the truth. Allah removed them out of mercy. Had you stayed, your faith would have suffered, your soul would have withered. Sometimes what looks like rejection is a rescue. Sometimes the heartbreak is really a hidden blessing. Allah's love for you is so intense that He will let you taste temporary sorrow to save you from eternal regret. He will detach you from the wrong person so He can attach you firmly to Him. Within His divine delay is a period of training. You do not even realize it, but your heart is being conditioned to carry the amana of love with dignity. You are being refined through patience so that when the right person finally appears, your response is calm, grateful, and mature. You will not rush, you will not beg, you will not lower your standards, you will not chase, because you have already tasted the sweetness of trusting Allah. You have learned that your worth is not defined by who chooses you in this dunya, but by the one who created you. You are not waiting for someone to complete you. You are growing with Allah, becoming whole in His worship, polishing your soul through Qur'an, perfecting your character through trials. When the time comes, you will attract not chaos, but tranquility, because hearts rooted in Allah always find each other through His qadr. Every time you feel desperation, return to salah and whisper your fears to the one who already knows. Do not see your singleness as a punishment. See it as a sacred opportunity to elevate your Iman, to fortify your boundaries, to strengthen your self-worth. This is the time to say, Ya Allah, make me worthy of the love you have written for me. Purify my intentions, protect me from harm, and grant me contentment in your decree. When you surrender with that level of trust, you find peace in the waiting. You smile even with tears in your eyes because you know that your Lord is preparing something beautiful. Perhaps He is still shaping the other person's heart. Perhaps He is aligning your destinies. Perhaps He is removing obstacles that you cannot see. Allah never forgets a single tear, a single prayer, a single moment of patience. And when His timing arrives, everything He withheld will suddenly fall into place without struggle, without forcing, without pain. It will feel natural, effortless, and blessed because what is from Allah always carries barakah. So do not compare your timeline with others. Do not panic when you see your friends getting married or having children. Everyone's test is different. Some are tested within marriage, others before it. Some cry for a spouse, others cry for peace. What matters is your connection with Allah in every phase of life. He is not withholding out of cruelty. He is protecting out of love. He knows your heart better than you know yourself. He knows what will nourish your soul and what will poison it. He knows who will uplift your deen and who will slowly drag you into darkness. If you wait with sabr and trust, Allah will give you not just any spouse, but a companion whose presence increases your Iman, whose touch reminds you of Jannah, whose partnership becomes an act of worship. One day, you will look back and understand why the delay was necessary. You will thank Allah for every unanswered prayer, every lonely night, every disappointment, because without that waiting period, you would not have become the strong, wise, spiritually awakened person you are going to be. So breathe, smile, make dua, and know this truth deep in your chest. If Allah is keeping you single right now, it is only because His love is protecting you from what your eyes cannot see and preparing you for a future your heart is not yet ready to hold. Trust His delay, for it is His way of giving you something far better than you ever imagined. Your season of singleness is not a void to be filled with desperation, but a sacred window to deepen your closeness to Allah. He gives this time so your heart can be molded, your faith sharpened, and your soul polished in His remembrance. Do not waste these days waiting for someone to enter your life. Instead, use them to enter the company of your Lord. When you bow your head in sujud, when your forehead touches the ground in humility, you are not missing anything. You are already connected to the one who controls hearts. Every salah prayed on time, every whispered dhikr, every ayah recited in the quiet of the night trains your soul to taste a sweetness greater than anything this earth can offer. Allah gives you this solitude not to make you feel lonely, but to teach you that real companionship begins with Him. Human beings may soothe you for a moment, but only Allah can sustain you forever. When you run toward Him with sincerity, He prepares a destiny filled with the kind of blessings you once never even dared to ask for. Singleness is a season of preparation not for a wedding, but for awakening. It strips away distractions, opens your eyes to who you really are, and brings your heart back to the Qur'an. In this time, let each prayer become a conversation, let each tasbih become a heartbeat. As you repeat Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, You are rebuilding your inner world, cleansing yourself from fear, anxiety, and doubt. When others are turning toward people to fill their emptiness, turn toward Allah and feel how He pours tranquility into your chest. Because the true purpose of your life is not to find someone who loves you, but to love the one who created you more than anything else. He may be keeping you single just so your heart is ready to carry the amanah of love without worshipping creation. When your heart knows how to rely on Allah completely, then even when a spouse comes, your peace will not depend on them, it will depend on your Lord alone. That is the secret to a healthy, lasting relationship built upon true tawakkul. There are believers who waste their single years searching for love everywhere except in their relationship with Allah, and they forget that every relationship He has written for them is already decreed. Chase Him, and He will send what is written at the perfect moment when both hearts are ripe with Iman. That is why this special time must be spent perfecting your prayers, beautifying your manners, caring for your family, serving your parents, and building your life upon halal. Stop searching for temporary companionship and start preparing for eternal success. If Allah sees you seeking Him sincerely while you are alone, He will honor you one day with a spouse that brings you closer to Jannah. But if your heart is distracted, attached to dunya, focused only on appearances, you may end up with someone who takes you away from your salah instead of reminding you to pray. So protect your heart now by planting it firmly in the garden of Iman, for only then will its fruits be sweet. Make tahajjud your secret companion. Wake up in the last third of the night and stand before your Lord while the world sleeps. Cry to Him from the depths of your heart and watch how slowly your heart becomes content in a way no human being can make you feel. Ask Him not just for a spouse, but for piety, patience, and inner strength. This is your chance to make dua that could change your destiny. Recite the Qur'an and feel how each verse speaks to your journey. Allow the words of Surah Yusuf to teach you about patience, Surah Maryam to teach you about faith, Surah Rahman to teach you about gratitude. When you surround your heart with the Book of Allah, it becomes protected from the storms of loneliness. Even your silence becomes an act of worship, and your single moments become luminous with barakah. Do not see yourself as behind or incomplete. See yourself as being polished by Allah for something extraordinary. While others may rush into relationships only to crumble later, Allah is building a firm foundation in your heart, so you never lose yourself in marriage. You are becoming grounded in your values, clear about your boundaries, and unshakable in your reliance on Him. When someone eventually walks into your life, they will meet a heart that is already glowing with Iman, not longing to be completed by them, but ready to share a journey toward Jannah with them. That is why your single years are precious and irreplaceable. Once they are gone, they never return. Fill them with everything that increases your rank in the sight of Allah, fasting extra days, feeding the poor, seeking knowledge, making dua for others, staying away from haram relationships and guarding your chastity. All of these acts elevate you and prepare you not only for marriage, but for meeting Allah with a clean heart. Understand that He is Al-Wadud, the most loving, and if He wanted to, He could have placed you in a relationship long ago. But He is also Al-Hakim, the most wise, and He knows that true love begins only when you first fall in love with Him. Once you taste that sweetness, your perspective changes. You no longer chase people. You chase prayers. You no longer feel unworthy or anxious about your future. You feel honored that Allah is allowing you time to grow before He gifts you something sacred. You find yourself smiling through tests because you know each hardship is meant to elevate you. Contentment replaces anxiety. Patience replaces pressure. And your heart finally settles in the beautiful realization that your singleness is not a temporary burden, but a divine blessing meant to bring you closer to everlasting joy. Stay firm in your dhikr. Stay punctual in your salah. Stay committed to your Qur'an. One day, when Allah writes your qadr, He will send someone whose presence feels familiar to your soul, someone who loves Him just as much as you do. Until that moment comes, keep walking toward Him with a peaceful, trusting heart. And remember always, the one who invests their single years in building their Iman will never regret the waiting, only the times they forgot to appreciate this priceless gift from Allah. Trust His preparation, for it is the doorway to blessings beyond what your mind can imagine. Rushing into love often feels exciting in the moment, but many hearts have been shattered because they could not wait for Allah's timing. When emotions burn brighter than wisdom, people push themselves into relationships that are not ready, not stable, and not written for them. They try to force a connection, ignoring the red flags, excusing the silence in their souls, and racing toward a future built on fragile hope. They convince themselves that something quick is better than nothing at all, but they forget Allah's promise that true love comes only when both hearts are prepared by Him. There is a reason Allah tells us to have Sabr, because patience is not a punishment, it is protection. It guards us from the heartbreak that comes when a relationship collapses under the weight of haste. When love is rushed, it often leads to disappointment, regret, and wounds that take years to heal. But when love comes from Allah in its destined season, it brings peace, tranquility, and a sweetness that lasts far beyond emotion. Patience is not passive. It is an active form of worship. It means trusting that Allah knows the right moment to bring two souls together. It means refusing to panic when the world pressures you to be in a relationship for the sake of appearances. It means valuing your heart enough to not give it away cheaply. You must believe that a hurried relationship will never give you what a divinely timed union can. When people rush love, they often neglect their deen. Conversations become reckless, boundaries blur, hearts become attached to someone who may not be theirs. Then, when everything falls apart, they cry to Allah asking why He allowed it, forgetting that He sent many signs along the way to slow them down. He whispered into their conscience through unease, minor conflict, delayed answers, and sleepless nights. Those were not obstacles but gentle warnings. Allah never leads a sincere heart into destruction, but many times the heart races ahead while the soul lags behind, and that is where pain begins. The peace you are searching for cannot be found in disobedience. It cannot be found in forcing someone to love you before Allah has decreed it. If you wait patiently, with your heart anchored in trust, Allah brings a spouse who is written for you in a way that is pure, respectful, and nourishing to your Iman. The kind of love that lets you sleep with a calm heart because you know you earned it through patience and obedience. The kind of love that encourages you towards salah, that reminds you to recite Qur'an, that makes you feel secure because it came with His blessing. No amount of rushed romance can ever replace that serenity. That is why Sabr now saves tears later. Every moment you choose patience, you are investing in a future that is free from regret. You are telling Allah that you would rather wait for His perfect plan than accept a temporary distraction. True love is not found through desperation. It is gifted when both hearts have reached a certain stage of maturity, purity, and reliance upon Allah. When your heart is filled with Qur'an, with dua, with tawakkul, Allah will not let you attach to someone who is wrong for you. He will protect you, delay you, and even distance you until everything is aligned. Patience leads to peace because it softens your heart, teaches you resilience, and makes you grateful for what you finally receive. Rushing leads to regret because it blinds you with emotion, weakens your faith, and often leaves you empty. handed. This is why some people spend years trying to recover from a rushed relationship they gave everything too soon to someone not prepared by Allah to carry it. Guard your heart, every beat is a trust. Do not open it to someone who does not fear Allah. Do not sacrifice your peace for the illusion of love. The one who is written for you will arrive at the time decreed. They will not ask you to compromise your deen. They will not push you into haram. They will respect your patience, your values, and your journey. You will not need to chase them, because what is yours by qadr will never miss you. That certainty is what gives a believer strength to wait. You are not behind. You are right where Allah wants you, being shaped by every test of patience He sends. And when the moment of union comes, every hardship will make sense. Every lonely night, every ignored message, every painful ending, all of it will seem small compared to the peace that fills your chest when Allah finally brings the right person with ease, respect, and barakah. So hold on to Sabr even when it hurts. Do not rush into something just to silence societal pressure or ease your loneliness. Fill your life with obedience, surround your heart with dhikr, and keep begging Allah for what is best for you. Make dua with conviction, saying, Ya Allah, if this person is good for my dunya and my akhirah, make it easy, and if not, remove them from my heart. That kind of surrender is the ultimate strength. Because patience is not waiting without doing anything, it is waiting while worshipping, trusting, and preparing your heart to receive what is written. This is the kind of patience that leads not only to a peaceful marriage, but to a peaceful soul. For when love arrives at the right time, it feels like coming home not just to a person, but to a destiny that was always waiting for you. Trust His timing, for forced love fades quickly, but love written by Allah is eternal. Allah sometimes keeps you single, not because you are unworthy of love, but because He wants you to become the kind of person who can carry it with honor. Many people search desperately for the right partner, forgetting that true preparation begins from within. Before you look outward, you must look inward. Marriage is not simply about finding someone who makes you happy. It is about becoming someone who pleases Allah. He delays your union because He is polishing you, strengthening your character, purifying your intentions, and deepening your faith, so that when He finally brings the one written for you, you will not crumble under the responsibility. You will stand as someone mature, compassionate, steadfast, and rooted in deen. What you are becoming in this journey is more important than what you are waiting for. Allah wants you to elevate yourself spiritually and emotionally, because the person destined for you deserves the strongest, kindest, and most God-conscious version of you. This season of singleness is your workshop. It is where Allah molds your heart away from ego and selfishness. It is where He teaches you patience, discipline, and generosity. When you learn to control your anger, forgive those who hurt you, and guard your gaze, you are training yourself to be the kind of spouse who brings peace rather than chaos. Many enter marriage without preparation and then wonder why things fall apart. They expected another person to fix their flaws, heal their brokenness, and fill their emotional voids. But Allah wants you to heal through Him first. He wants you to mature so deeply in His love that when someone comes, you are ready to give, not just take. You can only share what your heart already possesses. So Allah fills you slowly with gentleness, resilience, and sabr, so your future spouse will receive not your chaos, but your calm. This time is also meant for you to grow intellectually and emotionally. Learn about the rights, responsibilities, and purpose of marriage in Islam. Strengthen your self-control, your communication skills, and your manners. Become kind in your speech, trustworthy in your dealings, and disciplined in your habits. Because marriage in Islam is not a fairy tale, it is a partnership, a test, a journey toward Jannah that requires maturity and mercy every single day. So while you wait, focus on becoming the kind of person who can handle hardship with grace and success with humility. The more you align yourself with the Qur'an and Sunnah, the more Allah prepares you for a relationship filled with barakah. The one who fears Allah in private will naturally be loyal, respectful, and sincere in marriage. That is why He may be keeping you single, not to withhold love from you, but to teach you how to love properly, with boundaries, dignity, and integrity. Your future spouse is also on their own path of growth. Maybe Allah is working on them right now, shaping their character so they are deserving of a heart like yours. Just as you want someone pious, kind, trustworthy, and emotionally stable, they too deserve someone refined by faith and experience. If you rush this process, you might meet each other before either of you are ready, and instead of building each other, you might harm each other. That is why Allah holds you back until the right moment. So instead of asking, when will I find the right person? Ask yourself, am I becoming the person who will be a mercy to someone else? Work on your tahajjud, your obedience to parents, your honesty, your consistency in salah. Learn to control your nafs. When the time is right, Allah will bring hearts together in a way that is effortless because they have both been prepared by Him. Singleness is not an absence of love. It is a chance to deepen your love for Allah and become someone who lives with purpose. Use this time to help others, volunteer, learn new skills, and build your life. The more independent you become emotionally and spiritually, the healthier your marriage will be. You will not cling to your spouse out of neediness, but you will choose them from a place of strength and sabr. Allah wants you to step into marriage with a heart that is already overflowing with love for Him, so you do not idolize your spouse or expect perfection from them. True love is not about demanding constant attention or emotional rescue. It is about being a source of tranquility and support for one another on the path to Jannah. Only a heart that is already stable in its relationship with Allah can offer that kind of companionship. So shift your focus. Instead of seeking someone to complete you, seek to complete your character. Allah promises that good men are for good women and good women are for good men. If you elevate yourself, your match will also be elevated. You do not need to chase them. Your growth will pull them toward you when Allah commands. Be sincere, be steadfast, and be patient in this process. Cry to Allah, asking Him to make you worthy of the love He has written. Ask Him to purify your intentions, protect you from trials, and bless you with someone who increases your Iman. Keep striving, keep refining, keep trusting, because the person Allah has destined for you deserves not your confusion, fear, or immaturity, but your wisdom, strength, and serenity. And those qualities take time to build. When you finally meet, the wait will make sense. You will see how every delay was meant to polish your heart, so you could recognize and cherish each other in a way that pleases Him. You will thank Allah for not giving you what you wanted too early. You will realize that becoming the right person was always part of His divine plan. Every day spent improving yourself is a day closer to meeting them, not just as you are now, but as the best version of you. So keep growing, keep worshipping, and keep believing that Allah's preparation is never wasted. Trust His process, for becoming the right person leads you to the love written by Him. Dua is the most powerful weapon of a believer, yet it is often the most neglected. Allah has given you a direct line to Him, no appointment, no permission, no barriers. All you need to do is raise your hands and ask. When your heart feels desperate, when your loneliness is loud, when your patience begins to crack, remember that your dua has the power to reshape your destiny. Allah, in His infinite mercy, has already written every moment of your life, but He has also commanded you to make dua because it is through dua that destinies change, hearts soften, and miracles begin. Every tear you shed in sujud, every whispered plea in the darkness of the night, every sigh of longing that escapes your chest, it all rises to the Lord of the throne. He listens with a love far greater than you can fathom. Never think your prayers are going unheard. Allah may delay, but He never ignores. He is Al-Mujib, the one who responds, and sometimes His response begins with your patience and ends with a joy that fills your heart in ways you never imagined. Your dua is never wasted. Even if you do not see immediate results, something is already shifting in the unseen. Perhaps Allah is pushing a harm away from you that you did not even know was coming. Perhaps He is saving your heart from a relationship that would have destroyed you spiritually. Or maybe He is strengthening your faith so that when He finally gives you what you are asking for, you will appreciate it with humility, not arrogance. When you cry out to Him, you are declaring your weakness and His strength. You are admitting that you cannot control everything, and that humility is beloved to Allah. It is in that state that blessings pour into your life from directions you could not expect. Keep asking even when your voice trembles. Keep begging Him even when everyone around you tells you to give up, for Allah is closest to the broken-hearted and most attentive to the ones who call upon Him in desperation. People might disappoint you. Friends may not understand your pain, but Allah knows what lies hidden beneath your smile. He knows the longing you carry in silence. He invites you to ask Him directly, "Call upon me and I will respond to you." So keep repeating your duas with conviction. Ask for a spouse who will be the coolness of your eyes, for provision filled with barakah, for patience that heals your aching heart. Ask for guidance, protection, wisdom, and mercy. Keep asking and never lose hope, because your dua might be the very reason Allah softens your destiny toward ease instead of hardship. Nothing is too big for Him. Nothing is too trivial. Whether you whisper from your pillow or cry on your prayer mat, He hears you with compassion. And when the time is right, He will replace your waiting with fulfillment so beautiful that you will forget the pain that once kept you awake at night. Dua is also a sign of certainty in Allah. When you keep asking Him despite the delay, you are proving that your faith in His promise is stronger than your fear of disappointment. Shaitan will try to whisper, "There is no point, nothing is changing." But remember, delayed does not mean denied. Your dua might be claimed in this world or saved for you in the next, where it will come back to you as mountains of reward. So continue making dua with a hopeful heart, as if you are already receiving the answer. Because that optimism is beloved to Allah. He loves the servant who hopes in His mercy. He loves when you stretch your hands toward Him with certainty that He can turn the impossible into possible. The more you ask, the closer you become. Dua is not only about receiving, it is about connecting. It is about strengthening your relationship with Allah, trusting Him even when you cannot see a way. The beauty of dua is that it transforms your heart while you wait. Every time you pray with sincerity, your patience grows, your reliance on Allah deepens, you begin to let go of control and place your life in His hands. This transformation is part of the gift. Because when your heart softens through dua, you become the kind of person who can handle Allah's blessings without forgetting Him. So let your supplications flow constantly. When you wake, when you walk, when you eat, when you lie in bed at night, let your tongue be moist with dhikr and your heart alive with dua. Ask Allah to ease your loneliness if you are single, to protect your chastity, to keep you steadfast, and to grant you the spouse who was written for you long before you were even born. Ask for happiness that will bring you closer to Him, not drag you away. With every dua, you are planting seeds of hope, and Allah will make each one bloom at the exact moment He has chosen. Keep watering those seeds with patience, because your garden of answered prayers is growing, even if you cannot see it yet. There will come a time when you look back and realize that every unanswered dua was actually an answered one, just not in the way you expected. Allah did not give you what you asked for then, because He had something better prepared for you later. And during the waiting, He transformed you into someone more grateful, more mature, more spiritually grounded. The dua you are making today might be the very means through which Allah is drawing you closer to Him. Do not give up just because the road is long. Your dua is traveling through the heavens, being carried by angels, until it reaches its moment of acceptance. When it is finally decreed to descend, it will arrive like rain to dry earth, refreshing your soul and making you flourish in ways that make you fall into sujud, overwhelmed by His mercy. So raise your hands with a hopeful heart, cry to your Lord, and remember with certainty that the dua you make in patience today will become the joy that lights up your tomorrow. Allah's timing is always perfect, even when your heart grows restless in the wait. Before you were born, before your soul entered this world, Allah already wrote your love story in a book well, guarded with His eternal wisdom. Nothing you do can delay what He has destined, and nothing you rush can come before its appointed hour. Your qadr is not random. It is crafted by the one who sees all, knows all, and loves you more than anyone could ever love you. So when you feel anxious about your future, remind yourself that Allah has written the exact moment two hearts will meet, recognize, and unite. You may not know how or when, but He knows the precise second when your heart and your future partner's heart will both be ready spiritually, emotionally, mentally to handle the sacred responsibility of love. Until then, no amount of forcing, chasing, or planning will make it happen. But the moment He decrees, you will witness how effortlessly He brings everything together. Trust that this delay is not an indication of neglect. It is part of your preparation. Allah uses time to purify your heart, remove your attachments to what harms you, and refine your character. Every disappointment, every heartbreak, and every unanswered prayer is preparing you for the day your paths align with the one written for you. You may feel tired of waiting, but Allah never tires in perfecting your destiny. This is not a matter of if, it is only a matter of when. He is positioning you, guiding you, protecting you from paths that would lead to sorrow. He is shaping your soul so that when love finally arrives, it enters a heart that is steady in faith, firm in tawakkul, and gentle in character. That way, instead of being consumed by love, you will nurture it, protect it, and elevate it in ways that please Him. Sometimes we look at others and feel as though we are falling behind. Everyone seems to be finding their partner, moving on, building families, and we wonder why our story is delayed. But Allah knows what He is doing. Perhaps the person written for you is still learning their own lessons, passing through their own trials, and growing into the type of partner you have been praying for. You cannot rush their journey any more than they can rush yours. When both hearts reach the stage of ripeness, Allah will bring them together gently, without chaos. And when that moment happens, you will realize it was always worth the wait. What He writes is customized for your soul, your dreams, and your akhirah. It is not just a person He is preparing, it is a life infused with barakah, ease, and spiritual connection, a union that leads you both closer to Jannah. Be patient with your heart. Do not let doubts corrupt your trust in the Lord of the throne. Every second of your wait is known to Him, and not one moment is wasted. Spend this time polishing your Iman, readying your heart, and placing your ultimate hope in Allah, not in timelines. When your trust becomes sincere, your heart will settle. You will stop trying to control what is destined. You will let go of fears that whisper, "What if I never get married? Those fears are lies. Your story is already written. You do not need to chase what is written for you, it will come to you. The door will open, not because you forced it, but because you surrendered to the one who holds the keys. This is true tranquility. When your patience is rooted in your certainty that Allah makes no mistakes, you will no longer feel anxious about timing. You will flow with His decree, knowing that what is late in your eyes is exactly on time in His. And when Allah finally brings the two of you together, it will not feel rushed or confusing. It will feel natural, peaceful, and guided. You will see His kindness in the way your hearts connect, in the way circumstances align, in the way everything that once worried you melts away. You will recognize that only He could orchestrate such perfection. You will forget the years of waiting, because the blessing before you will overshadow the pain behind you. That is how Allah works. He replaces your patience with joy so overwhelming that your heart bows in gratitude. Until that day arrives, hold your head high, walk with dignity, and never settle out of desperation. Your patience is not weakness. It is strength drawn from trust in Allah's divine wisdom. Keep doing your part. Make dua with faith. Continue improving your character, staying consistent in your salah, guarding your haya, and remaining hopeful. You are not alone. The angels record every tear and every dua, and Allah is closer to you than your own heartbeat. When you trust His timing, you shield yourself from unnecessary heartbreak, and you open yourself to His best. One day, everything will make sense. You will see why every delay occurred, why every supposed setback happened, and why nothing else worked. And it will become clear that Allah's timing was not just perfect, it was magnificent. It was tailored to the deepest hopes of your heart and the eternal success of your soul. Trust His timing, for when He says be, your written love story will unfold with effortless beauty. May Allah reward your patience, ease your loneliness, and unite you with what is written for you in the most beautiful, perfect timing. Ameen.